Hello, hello.
How are you?
Good, good. That new?
What, this?
Yeah.
No, I've had it now. I haven't shaved it off yet because
Okay.
I'm wearing a mask most of the day, so I'm like I'm not even gonna worry about it. Yeah.
Must be nice. Okay, please introduce us to yourself.
My name is Victor Mariachi, and I live from Georgia. I'm a rapper, Chicano rapper, and yeah, just I do music, passionate about it. But
So
yeah,
let's talk about conclusions. Can we talk firstly, why did you title it that?
um, that was a song that I did in the middle of the summer of this year, and I kind of was debating whether or not I was gonna put it on the album. But I held on to it because I just didn't think it would fit. But the conclusion was just, I don't know. It was one of those things where I just listened to the beat, and conclusion was like that first, just the first words that came to my mind. It was, I don't know. I can't really explain it. It's more like my subconscious more than anything. So I just named it conclusions. And then as the year was ending, I said, well, I have this song, Conclusions. It's December, perfect to release it now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just came back full circle. Sometimes things just work out better later, and it just makes more sense. So, but conclusion, there was no premeditated any type of idea behind it. It was just the feeling of the song and how it felt, and I just went off with the topics that I speak about on the song itself.
So speaking of the topics, I was listening to your Spotify,
Yeah.
mainly a lot of white noise while I was working on something else, and I noticed a pattern. Maybe not for all of your songs, but for the majority of them, you're speaking a lot about current events, about Chicano culture.
Yeah.
Not it's not very a lot of topics talking about women
Mm.
and like the objectification of women, which is very trendy right now. With WAP and all that big booty hoe stuff. Is that something that you do intentionally, or do you have a couple of songs sprinkled in like that as well?
I think I did try to make a song like that where it was just like, but it was more of a fun type of feel to it. It was just a song that I experimented with. Shout out to the producer Ashton Kutcher, he's Atlanta based, and we did like he does kind of like that 3 6 Mafia type of beats. So we were just having fun. But when I released it, I gotta be honest, I didn't feel like it was me. Like I didn't. I was like, this is fun, this is cool, but maybe for just a studio record, but once I performed it and I did it, I was like, it doesn't really fit me and it doesn't really feel right. Um, but I don't really talk about it because it's just not something that I care about to do. You know what I mean? It's just something that I don't really necessarily feel like, oh, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to cater to that type of audience or to those type of people. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not who I am. You know what I mean? I just do
Yeah.
Chicano music, rap about my people's struggle, and or I rap about mental issues. I talk about the psychology of the human being and what the experience of what it is to live as a person. And I'm just more into though. I think it has to do more with who you are as an individual that affects the music. If you're more of a person that's methodical and you think about things like anxiety, death, and just things that people really don't really talk about as much in music or are not able to articulate it in music, then they're not going to do it. They're going to speak about the superficial, surface level things, which is nothing wrong with it again, but it's just not me.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
So did you like school?
I hated school.
Why?
I didn't like school because again, I think it was just very. I didn't like the experience of it. When you grow up in a Mexican household, it's very family oriented. Like everybody's super tight clothes, and since you're a baby, your mom pretty much has you, the whole time. Well, for me, and it felt like that, and I feel like a lot of Mexican kids have that too with their mom. They have like this very deep connection. So school was like kind of like traumatic because it's like the first time that she leaves you. You know what I mean? But it's not. I don't think it's healthy because at that point the child's probably like 5 to 6 years old, and it's still young. But as I got older, I still experienced those anxieties of being separated.
Hmm.
From your mom, even though you're old, even though you're like 11, 10 years old. I still had those feelings of I don't know, of just the separation. You know what I mean? And I think it has to do a lot with being in a Mexican household, because I don't think any other cultures don't have it like that, where the mom and the son or the daughters are super like you know, they're like in the same room almost all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's not healthy, but it's healthy at the same time. So school was that was my experience. That was my introduction to school. Was like, it's basically a place where I'm separated from my family, and I'm here, and I have social anxiety, and I'm already a quiet person. So it just closes everything down for you. So my school experience was basically a big blur, because I would just fall asleep in every class. I,
No, you
yeah, I
wouldn't.
would. I had a hoodie on,
No.
put it on, and
Oh, you were that kid.
I was that kid in the back that was sleeping. And because it was a very white school, I don't think teachers cared for my future. They were like, go sleep in the back, because we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like other kids, it was like, yo, we want you to be this, you're gonna be this, that. But for me, my future was just like, whatever it is that you're gonna end up doing, do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would just sleep in school. I'm surprised teachers didn't say anything, but that was, I don't know, they didn't care. I was more, almost like invincible. You know what I mean?
True, true. Okay, so you're TikTok famous.
Oh man, I don't know about that. I don't think.
Yeah, you are. And one of your most popular videos, you did stop motion animation.
Yeah,
So, two questions.
yeah.
How long did that take you to create? And how long have you been doing that?
You have really good questions, by the way. I just want to say,
Oh,
the stop motion took me about a week and a half, and
oh my God.
yeah, it was around Christmas time. Well, this time last year, and I had a song called "American Dreaming," where I talk about, immigrant parents and coming here and working, and I wanted to present that in a kind of like, uh, actually no. So how it happened was because I wanted to do a Marilyn Manson cover, which was the portrait of an American family. If you look at the album cover, it's just like, it's paper mache figures, and they're all sitting on a couch like this, and it looks really creepy. And I was like, I kind of want to do that, but I'm not as creepy. So I started doing it, and I started making the paper mache figures. I said I want to do one with my mom as a housekeeper holding a cart, and I'm going to take professional pictures. That's going to be the portrait, and that's it. That's as far as I was thinking. I pieced it together, about a week, everything done, and then I showed it to a friend of mine who is very creative, Colin. He's a director. He understands movies, and he was like, I kind of want you to do a movie. Like, he's like, you already have everything together. All you have to do is the stop motion, and I think it will look great. So I started researching. I started looking up what it takes to actually do a stop motion, and then once I looked up all the videos of people who have done it for years, and I was like, okay, this is doable. And then I downloaded the app, the stop motion app studio, and then I started just recording it on my phone. And it took me the whole day to do that 1 minute video, because you have to move the figure very slowly. And then I also wanted expression, so I made her blink, I made her reach down to get things. So it took me about a week and a half, and I finished it probably like around 4 in the morning of the same day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I wanted to end it with stars, so I took a whole bunch of stars, and I don't know, it's just a lot. Yeah,
A lot. It's
but it was.
beautiful. It's a beautiful video.
Oh, thank you. It was my first time doing it, so I was kind of nervous, but I was like, if I don't, I'm just, if I have an idea and I want to execute it and I don't have the people, I just go ahead and do it. Like, I can do it, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
That's dope. That's so dope. Okay. the the trendy thing to say is, or the illegals are coming to take your job.
Yeah.
The robots are coming to take your job. Why do you think that that's such a scary thought in our minds, that someone's coming to take our job?
I think a lot has to do with media, and I think a lot has to do with just not being. I think people are becoming less sympathetic with people that look like them. They don't have the ability to wrap their minds around what's really going on. The reasons why people come are not because they want to take your jobs or because they're doing it to mess with you. They're doing it because of necessity. They're doing it because of, you have a country where there's high crime, there's a lot of crime, there's drug cartels, and I'm not saying all areas, or I'm not trying to paint Mexico as the same brush, but
Of
there's certain
course.
areas where you have to deal with poverty, you have to deal with just the violence, you have to deal with your kids not, the best that they can be is like maybe a butcher, or like, you know what I mean, like the I don't know, the expectations for somebody in Mexico are not as high as if you were to come here. The sky's the limit. um so they do it out of necessity, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I just feel like once you understand that, it's a country where there's a lot of crime, and it's infested with that. And then if you're able to sympathize and actually rationalize and think about, okay, well, they're trapped in a situation where we are the consumers of something that is being cultivated in their country, and we're getting mad because the civilians of that same place that are being affected are coming here. It doesn't make sense. It's kind of hypocritical. You have to look at the whole spectrum. You can't just look at one thing and just be like, oh, this happened, and they're just coming here because they want to take our jobs, and the president calling us rapists and all types of shit, trying to paint us as criminals. And it's just ignorance. It's just laziness. It's just people who don't really want to have to think about it. They just want to go,
Yeah.
to the malls on the weekends, and you know what I'm saying, and just do whatever the hell they want to do and just live the nice life. But you know, outside of the United States, the world is very dark. There's a lot of shit that's going on underground, behind the scenes, that people don't realize that other individuals have to deal with. You know what I mean? So,
So happy belated birthday.
oh, thank you. Yeah,
So
thank
can you tell us the secret to looking young?
you. Uh,
You look hella young. Like you honestly look like you're 16.
oh my gosh, I don't know about that.
You do.
Now you're making me. But uh, you know what? I think doing what you love is what makes. I think that's what keeps you staying young. I think.
Wow.
Yo, what's up, homie? That's my homie. That's one of my Kadiri. He's one of the people that have been supportive since the beginning. Um, I think the secret is to less stress. I think we're forced into doing things we don't want, which is fine. I mean, we all have responsibilities. But at
Yes.
the core of yourself, you have to do what you love. You have to preserve that inner child. I think you have to preserve that creative, that whatever it is that you're driven by. Um, that I think is something that has made me stay or look how I am. And of course, genetics play a part, but I think not being as stressed, not being forced into doing things that you don't want. If I'm in a place where I feel like I don't like to be there, or I don't want to be in that job, I'm gonna get. I can't even go to the job. You know, I can't even.
Yeah.
Like, this is pissing me off. Like, I don't want to be this person that gets up angry. And you see people at the job when you if I don't know if you have a 9 to 5 and you go to the job, you see the old guy who's 50, 60, who's been at the company for 15 years, and you're looking at him, he's just over everything. You know what I mean? You can't, like, if you ask him a question, he's like, oh yeah, you just do it like this, and you can tell it's like a machine. Their body has become a capsule, and they haven't really, I don't know, they haven't really preserved what they really wanted to do. And my thing is, like, you only have one life, you only get one chance to do whatever it is that you want to do. And at the end of the day, if we're speaking, like, frankly, no one knows what they're doing. Like, even people who are in corporations, everybody's just doing what they're being told to do since a young age. Oh,
Yeah.
you got to go to college, you got to do this, and they're following that. They keep doing it, and then they don't have a free spirit. They don't have something that motivates them. They're like, life is worth living because of this. And that, I mean, I think once you have that and you're fulfilled, I don't think there's anything else that you really need to, like, that to me is like, I don't know, that it just creates happiness. And if you're happy with yourself and with your journey, then I don't know. I think it affects everything. Psychologically, your brain is so strong that it can, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it affects your body, and it may
Yeah.
affect physical appearance as well, because you're just overall in a better state.
True. 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 Okay. As long as I'm breathing, I'm American dreaming.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I heard that lyric, I felt a bit of cynicism behind it. What was the purpose behind you writing that statement?
That statement um was more about survival. So it wasn't necessarily that I feel that way personally. I feel like, you don't have to be in America to live, but I did feel like that's the sense of urgency that my people have when they come to the U.S.
Mm.
As long as I'm breathing, American dream, and it's just almost like, getting up every morning to do what we have to do. I think you have to have that pulse. You have to have that drive. You have to have that, that American mindset. America is like one of the most, you know, money-driven, capitalistic countries. So, I know people that travel across the globe, and they come to America and they're like, man, I kind of miss that hustle mentality because other countries don't have it. They take breaks in
Mm.
between they have a more laid back type of lifestyle. In America's, as soon as you step on the land, it's like go, go. You know what I mean? Like there's no point for you to stop or pause or just, you have to keep working. And for my people, I don't know. I just felt like that was, I don't know. I speak when I rap. Sometimes I think about their perspective too. I'm like, damn, like, because I work with a lot of Mexican people. I've done landscaping. I worked in kitchens. I worked in construction jobs with my brother, painting. Like, I've just done, and in Canada the same thing. I work with immigrants too. So it's just, I don't know. It's just a way of living. It's just American dream. And as long as I'm breathing, it's just I have to go get it. There's no other option for me to live. Like I have to go get whatever it is that I want to get. Monetary wise, or support my family. Which is basically what it boils down to, is people supporting their families.
What is the, and I don't want to misquote this, the Border Kindness Organization?
The Border Kindness Organization is something that I started following because of a friend named Cindy Rocha, who lives in San Diego, and I did a freestyle, and I also wanted it. I wanted to donate to, but they help children at the border who don't have their parents, so they
Mm.
they take care of them, whether it be dentist work, or whether it be with toys or clothing and stuff like that. And I just started following the page. I didn't know about it, but she's the one who put me on it. And I did a freestyle speaking about immigrants during the pandemic. So I wanted to put a link with it, combine it, because I was already getting a lot of my momentum with the freestyles, and I was just like, this would be something cool to have so people can really go and click on it and kind of check out. So I had that connected, and yeah, I love seeing stuff like that. I rather have my timeline and my IG flooded with things like that and seeing kids being helped out. But yeah, that she's the one who put me on it, to be honest. Because in Georgia, I live all the way on this side. I'm so disconnected from what's really going on the border sometimes.
Yeah.
Even though I was born in Phoenix, Arizona, which is right by the border, but now I've been here all my life, so I really don't know much about the organizations or what it is that they're doing in groundworks over there. But I always try to ask questions and try to be connected and try to ask how I can help. Because there's always ways to help.
Word. So, who was the most recent one who just battled against each other? Because the artists have been doing battles live to entertain us because we're so bored at home. So I had this crazy idea. When are you and Aztec gonna do a freestyle live?
Yeah, he hit me up about it. Yeah, we gotta do that. My phone is always on 1%. I had to
Oh
charge
my
it.
God, what'd you say?
I had to charge it last night and keep it on
Oh
all
my
night.
God.
So bad. But yeah, I gotta do it with him because he asked me about it. He's like, "Yo, we gotta do a live IG freestyle." I'm like, "For sure, we gotta do it." I just haven't
Oh
had
my
it.
God, could I be like the battle host?
Sure, fine, that's great. Yeah, I don't know if people just wants to freestyle, but because battling is a whole different thing. Battling is, you're going for
No, I want to be a battle, fight to the death.
that.
Freestyle to the death.
And me and
I think that'd be fun.
Aztec just connected too, so it's gonna, we're gonna have to go at each other now. But yeah, I'll let him know. I'll for sure. I'm sure he's down.
Okay. Where can we like you, stalk you, follow you, all that fun stuff?
You can follow me on IG. IG, I'll be on here. I just got my TikTok profile, Spotify, YouTube. I have a Facebook page too. All that is in my link tree, in my link in my bio. You can click and it has all the links there. I will have new music out soon too. I actually have a song coming out maybe Tuesday or this Monday, depending on when it lands on Spotify. But it should be out soon. Called Lo-Fi, and that's gonna be out soon. And I also have a music video coming soon, but I can't say too much about it because I'm very excited about it. But yeah, that should be out maybe sometime at the end of December, hopefully, if everything goes well. Yeah.
And then final question.
Okay.
Why do you care so much about people?
Why do I care? Uh,
Yeah.
uh, I think I think all as we all as people care for people, but I think for me personally, it's just something that I don't know, I've always felt since I was a kid, and it's kind of like a debate that you have within yourself because sometimes you care so much for people, and sometimes, people let you down. But I think
Yeah.
overall, it's just as a person, as a kid, I've always been that person. I remember when I was in my birthdays, like kids would be crying, they would be like, "Yo, I want his gifts," and I would be like, "Yo, take my gifts. I don't care." Like I was just always giving. I was always, to me, it felt better to actually have the things. I didn't want to see other people suffer. I didn't want to see other people go through, pain, because it was painful for me. So I always wanted to help people. I always have, I wear my heart on my sleeve. As much as as a rapper, you have to be like the fighter and you have to have that fighter mentality. But the true, I think for me, my true nature is to be a loving person. Like I really do care about people a lot. Um, and so that exerts in the music and that exerts with my actions as an adult. So I don't know, it's just who I am. I don't know if any other, I can't speak for other people, but I feel like we all have that in us, and I think some of us just have grown up to ignore it, or maybe we don't want to,
Oh,
you
wow.
you know what I mean? So yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm like analyzing something else and listening to it at the same time.
Yeah,
But okay.
it broke.
Thank you so much can I call you Victor? Is that okay?
Yeah, Victor, that's fine. Yeah, Ashley's
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Victor. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and knowledge. And we'll be talking soon, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You too.